Hot Toys and Inart have both tackled Ben Affleck's Batman from Batman vs. Superman, but which is better? That's the question I'm hoping to answer today, because initially when we first looked at all of Inart's photos, we were like, yeah, Inart, they knocked it out of the park. But now that we know the price and it's a bit more expensive than Hot Toys Deluxe version, I don't know. I'm kind of questioning things, because looking through all the blogger photos for Hot Toys Batman vs. Superman Batman, I was a bit surprised, especially because they kind of went for like more of a different look. Like, just look at these two images right here. Inart's is going to be on the left. I mean, it might switch up here and there. I might have messed up a little bit and put Hot Toys on the left sometimes. We'll see. I'll just call out which is which. But right now, Inart's is on the left and Hot Toys on the right. And I gotta admit, the Hot Toys one, especially in the blogger photos, it's looking a bit better than I remember. Because looking at the product photos, like the prototype looked a little rough. But now just comparing it, wow, I'm a bit shocked at how good the Hot Toys one looks. I mean, the Hot Toys one, look at all the kind of weathering on it. They actually put some dirt and stuff on it. Inart's looks a bit clean, so they went more for like a clean look. And one other thing too, I think the posability on Inart's is going to be okay, but that's one concern people had as well. I saw some comments on that first video. People were saying that, I don't know, Inart's looks like it's not going to move a lot. I think it will. I think they just didn't want to put in crazy dynamic poses for the product photos. But I guess that is one potential concern, just the whole posability of Inart's. Because Hot Toys looks like it has some decent posability based on some of the blogger photos. But posability aside, let's just look through which one looks best. Because right now, Inart's photos are a little less like bright and vibrant. And then some of the blogger photos are a bit like kind of brighter for Hot Toys. So looks wise, Hot Toys right now, you can see the belt is a bit more gold. The outfit's a bit like kind of brighter. And then Inart's is more of like a, not grayscale, but it looks a bit darker. You can even tell the skin texture just seems like they didn't brighten the figure up. So it's a bit darker. So if you kind of like that brighter look, the Hot Toys one definitely looks pretty good right now. And like I was saying, the ab work, like Hot Toys, initially it kind of looked a bit more action figure-y in the like prototype photos, but these blogger photos, like I kind of like the way the abs look. Right here, you can see it just looks really, really good. Of course, we'll compare to how the actual suit in the movie looks, because Inart's, it might still be more screen accurate, but I'm not discounting Hot Toys, because Hot Toys, yeah, let's look at the price, because Hot Toys, their deluxe edition was $350, and then Inart's is $389. And just keep this in mind also, this is before tax and shipping, and Inart's you have to go through a reseller. You can't, unfortunately, Inart, they're not licensed in the US. I was looking this morning and you cannot buy it like direct from Inart to go straight to your door. You have to get it through like a reseller or something, which I'm waiting for one of my resellers I usually use to like put it up on their site. But yeah, $389 for Inart base price. Of course, it's going to be more so a reseller, and it's $350 on Sideshow for Hot Toys, which price comparison wise, Sideshow is a reseller as well. So theirs is already marked up from the Hot Toys price. So also keep that in mind. So it's $350. That's actually not bad. So $49 less for the Batman Deluxe. And of course, right now it's kind of waitlisted or almost like basically kind of sold out. But if you find it anywhere, especially around that price, might be a decent deal. Because looking right here, this is the suit here on the left from the actual movie. And then here's Hot Toys on the right. And yeah, I gotta say the Hot Toys one, I think it still looks really good. Especially this angle is almost identical to the movie. The gauntlets look great. The detail to the suit looks awesome. The abs, of course, the abs on the Hot Toys one are a bit more defined just to give them that kind of more, I guess, like super muscly look. But here, they still look pretty defined, just not as like super lined up looking, whatever the heck you call it for your side abs. Just not super lined up right there. The chest looks good. I like the chest symbol on it. The cowl looks pretty good right now. We'll do a closer up comparison of the cowl. But yeah, I'm kind of liking the Hot Toys. I can't even lie, especially because I'm a fan of like battle damage and stuff, and seeing that little bit of brown weathering on there kind of adds something pretty cool to me. I'm a little bit more impressed with Hot Toys now that I've been looking closer at the blogger photos and stuff and comparing it to Inart. And then here's Inart on the left. And of course, the Inart one seems a bit more accurate color wise. You can definitely see Hot Toys might be a little closer to this photo. But yeah, I think it's just the colors they chose. Inart, their prototype photos, usually they're a bit more in like a, I don't even know. It seems like there's like a grayscale type thing they put on their photos, but hopefully it's not going to be as dull. It just, yeah, there's the word I've been looking for. It has kind of like a duller look compared to like Hot Toys and even this photo here. But then again, look at the belt. The belt isn't as vibrant yellow as it is on the Hot Toys one right here in this photo, at least. So Inart, they definitely nailed the belt a little bit more. The colors look identical. The suit though has more like a kind of bluish tint in this photo, but theirs is like straight up gray, although I think the gray, to me at least, seems a bit more accurate. Muscle wise, it looks almost identical. You can't really see the side muscles too much in this photo, but Inart has them and they're not crazy defined as like the Hot Toys one was. So also maybe a little bit more accurate. Their chest symbol looks pretty good. The cowl looks pretty good from this angle. I mean, showing some teeth here on the left. The gauntlets look pretty nice. So Inart, they still look really, really good. But yeah, let's just compare them again, because this photo I just want to look at because they both are holding that launcher right there. And the launcher, I think it looks pretty good comparing the two. I mean, it's an accessory. It's funny, this blogger photo, they didn't put it fully in his hand. It's kind of like out a little bit. I always get distracted by stuff. I swear I'm too like, I look too much at details because I always get distracted myself looking. I was like, dang, that's not even in his hand. But that aside, not getting sidetracked now, I do like how they both look. You can see a little bit of posability here on the Hot Toys one. They didn't really show off the posability on Inart, so they probably didn't want to crease the suit too much, but you can definitely see a little bit of creasing there in the elbows, so it's definitely gonna have some decent movement. And then right here on the right, yeah, you see the legs are bent. This photo isn't the most flattering angle for Batman, I'll admit, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'd say if you have the Hot Toys one, honestly, doing this comparison now, unless you want the most accurate or you really want to see the Inart one in hands, I'm saying the Hot Toys one actually looks really good. Like here, this is where Inart definitely wins though. Like here's the head sculpt, the Ben Affleck head sculpt. The Hot Toys one, yeah, I know. It has the bigger eyes. I called this out in the first video because I already knew Hot Toys, and whenever they do rolling eyeballs, they make the eyes look a bit larger. Here, the eyes look pretty accurate on the Inart one. Here, they just look kind of bigger, and he looks less sad. Like he just looks straight up sad here on the Inart one on the left, and on the right, Hot Toys, he's just like, yeah, I'm chilling. At least that's the vibe I get from him. But the hair, it's funny, the hair is like pretty similar. You see the strands that go over, the little kind of strands that separate, because both of them are doing that hair swap out piece. Hot Toys, like close up at least, maybe they did it better. I'm trying to look, because I can see the seam line right there. But then Inart's, you can see two. Then again, honestly, on the shelf, you're not going to see either of them. But Inart's hair piece is a little interesting. It's like two pieces, so I guess you have even more customization, sort of. And then Hot Toys just one piece, so one messy, one clean piece, and then I guess 4 pieces for the hair for Inart's, depending on what you want to do. But face-wise, yeah, definitely Inart. I mean, Hot Toys one isn't bad though, but comparing it side to side, I definitely like the Inart one a bit more. The Inart one looks like a photo of him. The Hot Toys one on the right, you can definitely tell it's a bit more figurey, especially the eyes. And then here, not the best photo in the world, but just straight up comparing the Inart one, yeah, this photo looks identical. I mean, a bit less pixelated for the Inart picture, but like the way the mouth sits, the nose, the eyes, they just look basically identical because the eyes are the correct size. So I'm just really liking how the Inart one's looking. Like head sculpt wise, I'm definitely thinking if you definitely want the Ben Affleck head sculpt, whether you're doing some like I'm gonna do, get like a body, an outfit set to put the head sculpt on, because I'm getting the Rise Work body set. I mentioned that in the first video, but I'm getting that body set to put the head sculpt on. So definitely I want to get the Inart so I can have the best version of Ben Affleck's head sculpt. But Hot Toys body wise, yeah, it's no slouch. But you can definitely tell doing this side by side now. Yeah, we got Ben Affleck and we have his I was gonna say stunt double, but yeah, I don't even know. This guy looks a bit more surprised. But here, yeah, we just do another comparison of the outfits. Of course, the hair doesn't match. Hot Toys on the right, Inart on the left. You see the hair here is the clean version on Hot Toys. Not gonna lie, I definitely like the messier version more. I don't really like seeing how much forehead we see as a clean version. Although the clean version definitely makes more sense if you're gonna do what I'm doing, put it on a body set, like the Rise Work body set, so then he can have like the clean, like Bruce Wayne type look. But Inart's definitely is gonna look better. Because like right here in the batsuit though, it looks pretty good. Hot Toys, you can see there's less kind of around the neck area. You can see it goes up a bit higher on the Inarts. It has like that leather section. We'll do the comparison with how it actually looked in the movie in a sec. But yeah, like we can see the bat symbol a bit more. They look pretty much the same. It sits a little bit lower on the Hot Toys one, a little bit higher in Inarts compared to where the cape is. We can definitely see all the kind of like brown, see the brown dirt in there on the abs, that area, the whole like arms and everything. So definitely if you're going for more like that battle damage, messier look, Hot Toys, man, theirs is looking really good. And the belt, I do kind of like the brighter look to it, but then again, Inart, theirs definitely seems more accurate when we were comparing the photos. You still have all the same like scratches and stuff on it. The suit, I always love all the line work details. Like look at all the lines and stuff in it, like all that detailing. Man, they both look really, really good. But you can definitely tell Inart's right now, some of the scratches seem a bit more realistic. Like Hot Toys looks like they might have took like a coin, you know, slash it through the figure a little bit. But Inart's has like a little bit of like lighter color to it. So I think Inart's, I'm liking the scratches a bit more too. But here you can actually see the neck piece. And on the on the Inart one we're seeing right here, he's a bit more sideways, so you're not seeing it straight on, but definitely go back. Where were those photos? Okay, I didn't have a straight on one yet, but yeah, you can see like the neck piece right here. It's just, yeah, it looks pretty accurate because you can see like the little bit of leather. But going to the Hot Toys one, there's like nothing else around it, so it's just like straight up his neck. It's a bit longer. I can't see that middle piece, so actually this one's a little bit more difficult to say which is more accurate. But he also has a cleaner looking hair here, and Hot Toys, yeah, they still do not nail that head sculpt. But there's just something about the Inart one. I definitely like that kind of neck piece that goes around it a little bit more. Makes the cape sit a bit more realistic. Here, it looks like he took off the cowl, and that's basically it. It does go around the neck decently, but yeah, I definitely like how Inart's looks without the cowl as well. Now let's talk about the base. So Hot Toys always makes better bases than Inart. Well, I mean, not always, but usually if it's a diorama style base. So if it's like a basic base, like a Star Wars base, it's just a rectangle, obviously Inart wins. But then again, they don't make Star Wars characters. But when it comes to diorama bases, I gotta say Hot Toys usually wins. I mean, look at this. This base looks awesome. This would be one reason to get Hot Toys if you really want a cool looking diorama style base. Because like, look at that. It has like the floor grading, has the ladder he can like hang off of. I love how that looks right there. Like the brick wall, it looks super realistic and just awesome. Even if you want to put other figures on it, like standing there, just holding the ladder, just doing anything. It's an awesome piece. Plus their Batman, especially in this photo, looks so good. And you see the posability, the arm goes up pretty good. So yeah, that's nice. And the wire and the cape. But then Inart, you see down here, it's just the rectangle even looks a bit small here. Yeah, it's just, yeah, their bases aren't the best thing in the world. Doing a quick little kind of side by side. Inart's base, I mean, the texture looks okay. It's simple. It gets the job done. But if you want the more diorama style base, definitely Hot Toys. I mean, if you want to put him in a cool pose on this like that, you definitely need the Hot Toys one. Inart, he's just going to be standing there. I mean, I guess you could put his leg maybe up on one of these or something, kind of sideways. But yeah, even like the bat symbol in the middle looks kind of weird. It doesn't really match the symbol on his chest too much. It's a bit shrunken in, but maybe it matches more like the movie logo. But I mean, it looks good, like all the asphalt or rocks and stuff in there. It's just Hot Toys. I love how their diorama base looks. So if I was like super keen on getting the best diorama base, I would definitely say Hot Toys here, because Hot Toys, yeah, I'm surprised how much or how good they are, especially being at a cheaper price. But now we can compare the cowls. Here's Inart on the left, Hot Toys on the right. Cowl wise, I gotta admit, Hot Toys, they surprised me again. Like, just looking at this, of course, you can definitely see Inart's looks a bit shorter, kind of in this neck region. It also could be the camera angle. Like Hot Toys looks a little bit longer. They both have all that detail in there for the cowl, but the detail does look a bit larger on the Hot Toys and more realistic on the Inart. You see like all the little kind of fine leather-like kind of look to it. The eyes, I think the eyes look pretty good on both. Of course, like Hot Toys, you can see a bit more of under the eye right there. You see way less on the actual Inart one. The mouse plate, I definitely think Inart's was more accurate because the shape here is a bit more like kind of curved U shape on the Hot Toys one. And they kind of have like maybe it's just like this part poking up on the edges, but it looks a bit more like kind of curved in and then it kind of swoops around where the actual chin is. But let's compare it to an image from the movie. Of course, Inart's, this is like a one-to-one image basically. He looks a bit more like kind of straight down in this image here, but here it's a bit more kind of, I guess, a little curved because where the neck is. So Inart, cowl-wise, yeah, I think they did a phenomenal job. But looking at Hot Toys, it's no slouch. I mean, if you already have this one, of course, like the mouse, like looking at it side by side isn't as accurate. It's a bit more like kind of a curved U instead of like kind of a V and then like kind of curved at the bottom a little bit, if that makes sense, you know? Like it's a little less of like a U shape and more kind of like straight down and then curved at the bottom, which definitely Inart, I think definitely nailed a little bit better than Hot Toys. But eye-wise, Inart, they also nailed. Of course, the images are almost one-to-one, so I guess it's a little unfair that I almost picked a perfect image, which literally almost looks identical. But looking at where the chest is, the chest symbol, I guess Inart's could be a little too close to where the cowl is. Yeah, but definitely the shorter neck looks pretty accurate. Yeah, I think Inart, they kind of nailed that one. I mean, if you're looking at the gap, I mean, I guess Hot Toys is slightly, maybe a little bit more accurate to where the cowl is, since it looks like a slightly larger gap, but that's just nitpicking at this point. But suit wise, yeah, all the like kind of detail and stuff in there, I definitely like a little bit more on Inart's. But then here we'll see like the Inart overall shots now. I always like when they post these. I kind of hope Hot Toys in the future starts doing something cool like this, because of course Hot Toys does an overall shot of everything, and they do, I mean, I guess they do kind of the individual shots as well, like interchangeable head pieces or like hair pieces, stuff like that. So I guess they do already kind of do that, but there's just something about this Inart stylized one that I really like. You can see realistic looking head sculpt. You see the suit right there, looks awesome. Interchangeable hair pieces. So see the two clean ones on there now, which, yeah, that clean look I definitely like more than Hot Toys. And then the two kind of messier looking ones, bangs and fringe, slick back, two different types of looks. And then you see cowl with multiple faceplates. So it looks like you get 3, just looking down here. You see the kind of neutral one, the mouth open, maybe talking one, and then kind of the angrier looking one. And then the eyeballs as well. I believe the eyeballs, they should, yeah, looks like they're rolling eyeballs. At least they better be. And then 2 interchangeable cowls. So you get the one that's kind of the split cut design, so you can actually move the neck around. And then you get the one that's just like all one piece if you don't want him to be able to move his neck like at all, I guess. Then here you can see bespoke muscular body. So yes, it's a new body. They didn't just pull a body from someone else, but it does look really, really good. His hulking proportions, which is very true. It does say silicone muscle detailing on the torso and thighs. Authentically, that word recreates the musculature I see in the movie. I swear I just give up if it's a word I mispronounced the first time. But yeah, so it does say there's some silicone in there for the actual muscles. So that's pretty interesting. So that definitely increases the price type of bit, or definitely increases the price, I'm assuming. It includes 2 capes, one for natural drape and one for dynamic posing. I really like that. You can see the wired cape here. It's of course posable since it's all wired. And then the drape cape on the one right here in the middle looks really good though. I really like how the drape cape looks. But and you get some awesome accessories. Of course, it's similar to both, but then again, this one includes die-cast batarangs, 2 types of die-cast batarangs, and rich selection of advanced gadgets. So I really like the die-cast batarangs. Hot Toys, they just give us plastic stuff, which also kind of sucks. So for the increased price of the Inart one alone, that's kind of worth it in my opinion, unless you really want the weathering and stuff for the Hot Toys one. The grenade launcher can be manually loaded, pretty cool, or get some like articulation on there. Sniper rifle features joint and removable components, pretty cool. I guess then you can take it apart, of course, or like potentially take it apart. Hopefully it's intentional if you do, but maybe the scope comes off, like the bipod. Then the grapple gun includes interchangeable hooks, pretty cool. Like I was saying, I do really like this. Like it looks really good, that wood texture and stuff. I like the little smaller curved one to make it look like he's shooting. It's not like Hot Toys where they give you a really long one and then just like one that's loaded. So you actually have an option here that you can actually use it and it looks like it's shooting. And then here's the overall shot for Inart's. You can see you get the head sculpt. The figure looks phenomenal. Just so freaking beautiful. And then you get that base. Hot Toys definitely wins with the base. Cowl-wise, they're pretty similar. We'll do the comparison, of course, but everything we kind of talked about, you get the 2 branders, one that's orange, one that's not. You get the different grapple hooks and those little grapple hook pieces, I believe. You get the hair fringes. You get this piece to go around the neck if you're not actually, if you take the cowl off. Oh, I don't know why I'm saying cowl awesome. If you take the cowl off them, you get that neck piece to put around for when you actually put the head sculpt. The drape cape, awesome inclusion. The bolt action sniper rifle, the grapple gun, the launcher, just everything looks really, really good here. You even get the flash grenade, and then the Hot Toys one. So the Hot Toys one, like I was saying, you see this, those initial product photos, yeah, I use those in the comparison with the Inart one in the first video, and they just did not look great, because using the actual blogger photos, yeah, Hot Toys is actually giving Inart a run for their money, because it actually looked really, really good. Here, it doesn't look as great, but this is your overall shot. So you get that awesome diorama style base, and keep in mind this one's $350 base price on Sideshow, so already the like the reseller price. The base price on Inart is $389, so it's more expensive, but then again, you do get more stuff. You get the additional rotatable cowl, because this is the deluxe edition. We're just looking at deluxe because that's the best price point comparison. So you get the Deluxe head sculpt or Deluxe cowl, so you can actually rotate the head. If you don't get Deluxe, you just get the cowl where he can only look forward. It's not rotatable, which is very odd. So clearly Deluxe was the choice you should go for. You get a wired cape. So it seems like to me you get a drape cape. You can see the drape cape like right here, but you also get a wired cape if you go Deluxe. It's funny because nowadays I guess like some of this stuff seems like stuff that Hot Toys usually would just include, but it's kind of interesting their Deluxe edition upgrades here. So you get the wired cape, which seems like you get 2 capes here, which is also the same as Inart. You get 3 different plates, similar plates. You get the neutral, kind of angrier looking one. Then also maybe the talking kind of open mouse one. You do get the head sculpt with 2 interchangeable hair pieces. Like Inart did 4 pieces, but then again, it gets the same result. It's just the Hot Toys head sculpt did not look as good as the Inart. And then you see the rolling eyeballs. You actually get this like cowl piece I actually kind of like, so you can display the cowled or sculpted head. So I actually do kind of like that. So if you want to have them with the head sculpt on, then you can actually put the cowled head or the cowl here. I would definitely pop the eyeballs out and take the cowled mouth out because it looks a bit odd if you just have a headless Batman right there. But I do like that you get the actual stand for the cowl. You get the launcher, looks pretty decent. Of course, probably not as detailed as Inart's from what I was seeing. Grappling hook, I do like that. Actually, it has a bendable wire, so you can shrink it down or make it longer. So that's actually pretty cool. Because I know for the Batman, I have the Robert Pattinson one. You just get a really long one or the really short one. So actually, I do like that it's actually posable here with the Hot Toys one. That's a big plus. Get all the batarangs and stuff. You also get the brander, but you don't get the lit up like orange brander. It looks cool, but they're also not die-cast pieces. So yeah, then you get a bunch of hands. And going back to Inart's, you also get the rifle. Like the Inart editions, the rifle. You get this like piece. So when he's not wearing the cowl, you actually get the piece. I don't see that at all for Hot Toys, and it doesn't look like you get that. Just whatever's under the cowl. Similar hands, of course, like a lot of the same stuff. You'll get the additional brander. You get these 2 additional pieces. Looks like you get the same amount of batarangs, but these ones also are 2 different styles. These ones all look the same. And yeah, overall though, I'd say Inart kind of nailed it for like the look of the bat suit, just all the accessories and stuff for the price point. The base, definitely a big letdown. Inart doesn't do the greatest bases, but then again, we would pay more if we want a kind of cool diorama base, because this base, you have like different display styles. You can like flip it around, have the brick wall, or you can have them on the ladder, or have them on the backside, whatever you want to do, which is really cool. So let's just go back to the first pictures. Yeah, price wise, $350 Hot Toys, $389 Inart. For me, I'm going to go Inart. I was waiting for Inart's release to come out, so I'm definitely going to go for Inart. It's a bit pricier, but then again, if you already have, like, if you just want a representation from this movie and you don't want the most like high-end, best looking version, definitely the Hot Toys one. It's not a slouch. The Hot Toys one actually looks really, really good compared to it. Like looking at these two, it just looks like the lighting's a little different. Of course, the belt might not be as accurate. It's a bit brighter. And there's, of course, weathering. So if you really hate the weathering on it, the brown dirt and stuff all around it, of course, the Inart one looks cleaner. But if you also want the diorama base, Hot Toys definitely nailed that a lot more. If you have the standard Hot Toys one, honestly, the Inart one definitely blows that one out of the water, because the Hot Toys one, you don't get the wired cape if you just get the standard. You don't get the movable head or the cowl, which is weird. So yeah, for me, I'm going Inart, but Hot Toys, yeah, let's talk about it down in the comments, because I'm actually surprised by how good the Hot Toys one actually looks. So I'd say if you have Hot Toys and you're happy with it, you don't really need to spend all the extra money to get the Inart one, because let's be real, nowadays on the aftermarket, especially if you're trying to sell your BVS Batman from Hot Toys, you're not really going to get the money back, especially with like seller resale stuff on eBay. So if you're happy with it, I'd say just keep that one. But Inart, if you need the most accurate one, this is your representation of Batman, your version that you really, really need. And or if you've been like me and waiting for a Batman and you're finally like, huh, Hot Toys or Inart, now that we see Inart, I definitely think Inart looks better. Like I was saying though, Inart's, this is like the prototype photos, and Hot Toys, theirs are like the final release blogger photos. That's why Hot Toys might look a bit better than they did in the product photos, because those product photos, it did not look that great, to be honest. It looked a bit like a lot more action figure, a lot smoother and kind of weird when we were doing that first video. I'll definitely check out the first video if you want to see just the Inart look at everything. But yeah, Inart, these first photos look great. And if they just keep improving it from here, I think we're in good hands. So yeah, let's just talk about it down in the comments. And until next time, stay 6 scale.